Why are the Irish government afraid of Conor McGregor? Yes, afraid of Conor McGregor. I know they dislike him. I know they wish he would just go away and shut up. But he isn't going away, and he isn't going to shut up, and they're afraid of him. Why? Why are they afraid of him? They've made it clear he doesn't have a mandate to speak for the people of Ireland. He has no political mandate. They think he's just a thug. That's it. A fighter, a thug, many other things. Doesn't matter what they think of him. The fact is, they're afraid of him because he's speaking the truth and he has a platform and he cannot be silenced. So it's worth having a little recap before we hear from one of the wet wipes from the Irish government, smirking smugly as he explains why Conor McGregor doesn't have a hope in hell of being elected as Irish president. Maybe he doesn't, but they're afraid of him getting elected as the mayor of Dublin, because if he's elected as the mayor of Dublin, he could just be in the position to ruffle a few feathers and shake a few cages, in particular those of the Irish government. So let's hear from this lettuce leaf. Goes by the name of Jack Chambers. Jack Chambers. And Jack is starting to become more of a presence, more of a spokesperson for the Irish government, and he wields an awful lot of power, does our Jack. His official title is the Public Expenditure Minister. Strikes terror into the hearts of dissenters, no doubt about it. The Public Expenses or Expenditures Minister. And as you listen to him and you look at him, he kind of reminds me of Justin Trudeau, the now deposed Canadian Prime Minister. Slimy rat Trudeau. Smug. Smirks a lot. You're going to probably, well, maybe I'm putting ideas into your head, but that's the vibe I'm getting from Jack. So let's hear what Jack has to say, and then we'll look at some of the comments, and I'll tell you why I think Jack's trembling in his little boots. Let's hear from Jack.
Comes to Tucker Carlson and Conor McGregor, I think you've seen a resounding rejection of Conor McGregor's attempt to run for the presidency. I think most political parties and independents completely reject his politics.
Let me tell you who hasn't rejected him. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Maybe that was a Freudian slip. Donald Trump has not rejected Conor McGregor. Donald Trump had him in the White House on St. Patrick's Day, on the day. And it was made clear to the world's press that there was no better Irishman to have in the White House on St. Patrick's Day than Conor McGregor. Where was Simon Harris on St. Patrick's Day? He was walking the streets of New York, relegated to walking the streets in a raincoat. Where was Micheál Martin? I think Micheál was back in Cork by that stage, because he had been invited 5 or 6 days in advance to hand over his little bowl of shamrock, while Trump sat there making passive-aggressive swipes at him, saying Ireland has it coming. We love the Irish, but you know, they've taken us for a ride for a while, so we're going to hit them with tariffs and maybe big pharma charges, which we're still waiting for them. They're coming. Where was this chap? I have to keep reminding myself. Jack Chambers. Where was he on St. Patrick's Day? What was he doing? Was he totting up a spreadsheet somewhere? Was he doing his public expenses? Sitting here smirking, telling us that Conor McGregor will be soundly rejected, and he's talking about Tucker Carlson. I'm pretty damn sure Tucker Carlson doesn't want to talk to Jack, and you can probably see and hear why. Not much substance there. But anyway, let's hear him continue to be smug.
His rhetoric, his divisive approach to public debate, and I'm sure that will be reflected in his interview with Tucker Carlson. But that type of extreme politics isn't something that most Irish people accept, and I think.
That type of extreme politics is not something that Irish people accept. Let me say this. Let me just speak freely. No one practices extreme politics or extreme treason like the Irish government, like him and his band of ghouls. Extreme politics? Extreme politics is putting other people before your people. Extreme politics is treading people down. Extreme politics is trying to manipulate others to fall into line with what the government says, to try and suppress freedom of speech, to try and bully people into towing the government line. Extreme politics is lying repeatedly about multiple issues. For example, the safety of Dublin streets or house building targets, lying about them repeatedly, while Irish people increase in numbers with homelessness, children increase in numbers with homelessness. More and more people are getting attacked, either in their homes or on the streets. The floodgates are open. Come on in. Come on over to Treasure Island. We don't ask no questions, even though we say we do. Come on in. Doesn't matter if you've got no passport. Doesn't matter if you've got no identity. 96% of people in a recent Freedom of Information request to the Irish government, 96% approximately in the last 6 months were allowed to remain in Ireland even though they had no identity or identity documentation. 96%. But yet, the government and some spokespeople from An Garda Síochána would tell us that no one gets in without being vetted. No one. Fingerprinted, photographed, identified. No, we don't. Lies. So if you want to talk about practicing extreme politics, look no further than this lettuce or his friends, the like of him and Simon Harris. Maybe they're a little bit intimidated. Maybe they're afraid. What do you think?
It will be widely rejected if he attempted to run for the presidency, and I'd be surprised if he received a nomination.
Yeah, you would be surprised. You know, they said the same thing about Trump. There's no point in him running again for president. He ain't going to win. Joe Biden's got this, and then Kamala's got this, and they threw everything behind them. Every woke celebrity paying people to endorse them, and guess what? They failed. They've got egg on their face. They mocked him. Harris called him an old girl, refused to apologise. Now look at this. This is another face of the Irish government, or maybe it's an arse of the Irish government. Face like a well-slapped ass, as my friend used to say. I don't know. Don't know what Jack's up to. Let's see some of the reactions. This was underneath his post. Hold the mayor election and you'll see exactly how many people agree with his words and support his attempt to save Ireland. What happened with the mayoral election? They want to do it directly now? Why don't they just throw it open? If they've nothing to worry about. If they don't fear the fact that McGregor could get elected, then just business as usual. Conor gets my vote. Conor for president. Come on, the Irish people, vote for him if he runs for it. I don't know if he will or not. I'm just saying what I see from the government's perspective here. Not an endorsement per se of Conor McGregor. But let's face it, how could he be any worse than the shower that are in at the minute? Michael D. Higgins? Goblin? If they believed he's being rejected, why did they postpone the election of mayor? They know he would win. He's lying through his teeth, talking about the Minister of Expenditure. Conor for president, our politicians are World Economic Forum globalist puppets who are destroying Ireland. Crime and murder is out of control. Good man, Conor, you have them all on the run. It's the feeling I'm getting. Living rent-free. Yes, living rent-free in their heads. That's exactly what he's doing. Conor's telling the truth. Shame on the corrupt government. Yeah. It's the bottom line. They're afraid. They're terrified of him getting even more exposure than he has. And let's face it, he humiliated the government, or the government were humiliated, especially in and around St. Patrick's Day in Washington. And they're still picking the salt out of their wounds about that one. Now they're bricking it here. So now we're starting to see more rhetoric like this, more smug messages coming from the Irish government. They're afraid. Am I thinking too much about this? If they weren't concerned, they wouldn't comment. Just leave him be. Let him continue to just arse about and do what he wants to do. Let Conor do what he wants. He's no threat. He's no threat to us. But the fact that they're giving him so much attention, and it's all attention, there's no such thing as bad publicity, speaks volumes to me. What do you think? Are they running scared? What are they afraid of? What might happen? Even if he doesn't get into that presidency role, why block him from potentially becoming the mayor of Dublin? And he was seen walking the streets of Dublin a few days ago before he held court in his pub with Tucker Carlson. We're still waiting for the interview to drop. That's going to be fun, breaking that one down, let me tell you. So let me know what you think below. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. We're getting some momentum. The message is getting out there, not just from me, but from many other people that are flying the flag and trying to speak the truth. Put it out there, share it with other people. Consider joining the channel if you haven't already done so. There's a little button there, join, click it and see what happens. Doesn't commit you to anything, but you can have a little browse and see what happens, see what's on offer there. There's a weekly question and answer video for channel members. I speak on a little private channel there to the people that have become channel members, and we can interact a little bit more directly because it's hard to catch up or keep up with the comments on the main channel here. So consider that if you haven't already done so, but if not, no problem. You can still continue to share and enjoy the content, hopefully enjoy the content here on the public section. But for now, I'm Rick Munn, No Risk, No Reward Media, over and out.